In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make these cute dish scrubbies with the star in the center. And we're going to be using Peaches and Cream 100% cotton for the stars that are in the center of the round dish scrubby. And we're also going to use Washi Scrubby yarn by Premier Yarns for the part that goes around the star. And the one that I'm going to show you in the tutorial today is going to be the one with the red star in the center. The Peaches and Cream is a 100% cotton yarn, and the washi yarn is 100% polyester. And I thought it'd be a great scrubby to make it with both types of yarn. You have the 100% cotton for the star in the center, and we have the other washi scrubby yarn with the polyester. That way you have two different types of textures for your scrubby. So by using two different textures to make the scrubby, it's going to be a real nice scrubby to do the dishes with. It's going to have the nice scrubbing action of the washi yarn. And you also have the cotton yarn, which holds on to the soap suds better than the scrubby yarn. So I feel by using both, you get a great texture for doing your dishes, and you get the best of both types of yarn for this adorable scrubby. So let's go ahead and get started on making our scrubby with the star in the center of the circle. We're going to start off with the red Peaches and Cream for the star. I'm going to be using a size I or 9 5.0 millimeter crochet hook to make our scrubby today. Okay, and I'm going to start off with a magic ring. And then I already have a loop on the hook, so I'm just going to chain 2 more. And that will be our 3 chains, and that those 3 chains will count as my first double crochet, and then I'm going to do 9 double crochets into the center of the magic circle. Okay, so I did 9 double crochets plus that first chain 3 count as a double crochet, so we essentially have our 10 double crochets now. I'm going to pull the tail to close up that center circle and join with a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3 that we did when we began the round. Okay, now we have our first round complete. We have our little circle. So for the second round of the star, we're going to start off with right into the very next stitch. We're going to do a half double crochet into that stitch. So yarn over and do a half double crochet into the next stitch. Into the same stitch, you're going to work a double crochet. And then into the same stitch, we're going to do a treble crochet. So wrap the yarn 2 times before you insert it into the hook. And then do the treble crochet. Sometimes you'll hear it called a treble crochet or a triple crochet. It is the same thing. And then into the same stitch, we're going to do a double crochet. And then a half double crochet into that same stitch. Okay, and then into the next stitch, you're going to do a slip stitch. So there's the first point of our star. And then into the next stitch, we're going to work 5 stitches. The first stitch will be a half double crochet. And then into the same stitch, a double crochet. And then into the same stitch, a treble crochet. And then a double crochet into that same stitch. And then a half double crochet into the same stitch. So all into that stitch we did 5 stitches. Into the next stitch you're going to do a slip stitch. Into the next stitch we're going to work 5 stitches. And we're going to work each point of the star the same way. So into the next stitch, do a half double crochet. And then into the same stitch a double crochet. And then a treble crochet into the same stitch. And then a double crochet into the same stitch, and then a half double crochet into the same stitch. So all into that stitch was 5 stitches. So to recap what we just did, all into the same stitch we did 5 stitches. It was a half double crochet, a double crochet, a treble or triple crochet, a double crochet, and a half double crochet. So each point is worked the same way. So each point will have the same 5 stitches. And we'll have 5 points for our star. So that's the third one. This next stitch we're going to work a slip stitch. Now 5 stitches into the next stitch for the next point of the star. So we're going to start off with a half double crochet, and then a double crochet, and then into the same stitch a triple crochet or treble crochet, and then a double crochet into that same stitch, and then a half double crochet into that same stitch. So there's our fourth point of the star. And we're going to work a slip stitch into the next stitch, and then we just have one more point of our star to work. So into the next stitch we're going to work our 5 stitches. We're going to start with our half double crochet, and then the double crochet into the same stitch, and then a treble crochet into the same, and then a double crochet into that same stitch, and then a half double crochet into the same stitch, and then you'll work a slip stitch into the next stitch. So there we have completed the star of our scrubby that's going to be in the center. We have our 5 points, so we can go ahead and cut the yarn here. Okay, and then we're going to fasten off, so I'm going to yarn over and pull that tail until it ends all the way through. Give it a tug to fasten off, and there is the star for our scrubby. I'm going to use the washi scrubby yarn around my star, and we're going to have the star is going to be the center of the circle of our scrubby. Okay, so we just fastened off right here, so I'm going to be working into that very next stitch, which is a half double crochet. So that's the first stitch of the star point. So that's the first stitch of the point of the star. So that's the half double crochet. We're only going to be working in the back loops of each stitch for this round. I'm going to be using the same size crochet hook, the size iron 9 5.50 millimeter crochet hook for this round as well. So I'm going to go ahead and insert my hook into the back loop of that half double crochet. I'm going to add my washi yarn, and this is the color blue and white. It's a two-tone yarn. Okay, so I'm going to pull a loop through, and then I'm going to chain 3. And that chain 3 counts as a double crochet. And then the next stitch here is a double crochet. So into the back loop of that double crochet, I'm going to do a half double crochet. Into the next stitch, which is the top of the treble crochet, we're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of that stitch. And then the next stitch, that's the double crochet, we're going to do a half double crochet into the back loop of that stitch. And then the next stitch, that's the half double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet into the back loop. And then here's where that slip stitch was. We're going to do a treble crochet into that stitch, working only in the back loop of that slip stitch. And then we'll do our treble crochet. And then the next stitch, that's the half double crochet. We're going to do a double crochet, working in the back loop. Next stitch is the double crochet. We're going to do a half double crochet into that stitch, working in the back loop. And then we're back to the treble crochet. We're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of that stitch. Okay, the next stitch is the double crochet. We're going to do a half double crochet into the back loop of that stitch. Next stitch is the half double crochet, so we're going to do a double crochet. We're working only in the back loops of these stitches for this round. Here's the slip stitch. We're going to work a treble crochet into the back loop of that slip stitch. The next stitch is the half double crochet. That's the beginning stitch of the next star point. So the half double crochet, we're going to do a double crochet into the back loop. And then the next stitch is the double crochet. We're going to do a half double crochet, working only in the back loop. And now we're back to the point of the star. That is going to be a single crochet in the back loop only. So every single stitch in this round, we're going to work only in the back loops. Okay, next stitch is the double crochet. We're going to work a half double crochet. Next stitch was the half double crochet from the previous round, so we're going to do a double crochet into the back loop of that stitch. And then here's the slip stitch. We're going to do a treble crochet, so we're wrapping the yarn 2 times. We're going to do a treble crochet working into the back loop of that slip stitch. Okay, so the next stitch is the half double crochet, so we're going to do a double crochet into the back loop of that stitch. And then the next stitch here, that's the double crochet, so we're going to do a half double crochet into the back loop of that stitch. And then here's the triple or treble crochet. We're going to do a single crochet into the back loop of that stitch. Okay, and then the next stitch is the double crochet, so we're going to do a half double crochet in the back loop of that stitch. And here's the half double crochet, so we're going to work a double crochet into the back loop of this one. And then here's that slip stitch in between the 2 points of the star. We're going to work a treble crochet into the back loop of the slip stitch. Next stitch is a half double crochet, so we want to work a double crochet into the back loop of that stitch. Next stitch is the double crochet, so we're going to work a half double crochet into the back loop. And then the next stitch is the treble crochet, so we're going to work a single crochet into the stitch, working in just a back loop. And then here's the double crochet. We're going to do a half double crochet working into the back loop. And then we have our half double crochet here, so we're going to work a double crochet into the back loop of this stitch. And then here we have the slip stitch. We're going to do a treble crochet into the back loop of the slip stitch. And then now we're going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 that we did when we began the round. And that completes this round where we create a circle around the center star. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 and we're going to do a single crochet in every single stitch around. And we're going to work the stitches kind of loose. We don't want to work them too tight because we want to make sure that when we work one single crochet in each stitch that it doesn't curl in. If it curls in, that means you're working your stitches too tightly. Okay, so as you work your single crochets, if you do find that it starts to curl in on you, and you know, everyone's tension is different, so what you can do, you can also switch to the next size up. So you can switch to the size J or 10 crochet hook, which is a 6mm crochet hook if you wanted to work this round of single crochets with the larger crochet hook. That way your stitches will, you know, not be as tight, and that way it won't curl in on you. But I find as long as you work the stitches loosely, it's going to work out perfectly. So you just continue working one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Okay, so I just finished working one single crochet all the way around, so I'm going to join with the slip stitch to that first single crochet that we did when we began the round. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn, fasten off, so I'm going to pull that through. So I finished making my scrubby with the star in the center, so now all I'm going to do is I'm going to weave in the tails. Okay, so I wove in my tails. I am now finished making my dish scrubby with the star in the center. I hope that you enjoyed making the dish scrubby today. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and like the video. I want to thank you for watching today, and have a great day.